Hey, this lesson we're going to be adding text to our canvas element. So let's go into index and we're going to update it. And first of all, we need to create our new JavaScript file. So you can just call this text.js. I'll go ahead and create a brand new one and do a save as and save this as text.js. As we're going to be applying the text and then go into index, make the update so that we're linking out to text.js. And first thing that we will always need to do is in order to select the canvas element. So let's make the selection to the canvas element, query selector, selecting the element with an ID of canvas, and that will link it into that canvas object. And then also let's create the CTX object. So using the canvas object and get context and set the context to 2D. So now we're all ready to go and to draw within Canvas. So what we wanted to do this time is we want to add some text. So let's select CTX, and with text you can select the font. So if you want really big font, let's do 40 pixels, and you use Arial font. And you can also set the color. So using the fill style and selecting the color of the text. And we'll set that as blue. And then the CTX fill text method this is where we're going to actually fill the text. So it requires a few parameters. So a text string, the X and Y coordinates, and then the maximum width. So if you leave that blank, this isn't going to apply any width to it, so whatever the default width is, it's going to get applied. And we'll create just a regular string value that will say hello world. And this is the text that we want to write. So connecting to the string. And the X and Y position of where we want this to appear, so 100 and 100. So let's save that and refresh. So we got hello world. You can adjust the size of the font. There's also different font styles. So these are the default ones that you find on the internet. So you can update those and adjust those as needed. And then also let's add in one more for the last parameter. And as we see, it really doesn't do a whole lot, except it's created a box that's 500 width. That value itself doesn't do a whole lot, so typically you won't see it added into code. So typically you're only going to see the 3 parameters. There's also text alignment as well, so you can do a CTX and do a text align. So let me start on a new line for that. CTX and text align. So this is expecting a string value, so equaling it to a string value, and let's just center align it. So what it's doing is just aligning where the text position is. There's also left align, which is the default, and there's also right align, which is the other option. So there's 3 positioning options there. So that's right aligning. So typically what you want to do is just usually leave it at left unless there's a particular need for that. And this, well, that's going to be the default. So if you get rid of that, the alignment, you're not going to see any change. You can also update the font with italic if you want. So where we're specifying the font, actually this is all done within that same line. So if you wanted bold font, that would bold the font. There's also an option for italic as well. So if you want italic, you can do the italic font that way. So now it's up to you. Pause the video, create your own secret message within your canvas element, and you can select from various web fonts and output that within Canvas. And also as a bonus, you can do a count from 1 to 10, all using JavaScript. So let's update and add in some more examples. So CTX font, and make this one bold, 20 pixels, and it'll be just Arial. And Arial, I believe, is the default as well. So fill style. And notice it uses the same fill style format as we see with rectangles. So CTX, and let's add in the fill text. And just let's create a JavaScript loop for this. And we'll just do 5 of them. And this is the nice thing about using JavaScript, is that you can do some updates to the text. And we'll just set value here for counter plus X, and then where we want to position the values. So we'll do some calculations here as well. So we'll start at 50, and then we'll make this number dynamic. So we'll take the value of 100 plus, and we'll just do 100 plus 10 times X, whatever the value of X is. And actually this maybe should be a little bit larger, 40 times X. And I just do need to have one more bracket there. So that gives us the output all the way down, and maybe let's adjust where it's starting so it's not overlapping with the hello world. So that way we can create value that's dynamically generated, and doing this all with JavaScript. And we can also start this, and let's set it to 11. So that will give us a count all the way from 1 to 10.